Hello, welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 and welcome back to Twin Lakes Park. So today we are starting on the Main Street entrance plaza area, and first what's going in is this little gift shop. So it's a modular one, so I'm using the nice modular pieces what came with one of the updates. I think it was ages ago, so I wouldn't know which update it was. It's like 4 updates ago or something like that. Anyway, we're putting in the path, and then putting in some toilets behind it, because I built the building in the last video where there was meant to be toilets, and I couldn't be bothered to go back and redo it because I had all the small shape bits, and I knew it would be such a hassle to go back there and do it. So I'm putting the toilets there in this one. So that path there is going to be covered up eventually, and I'm starting with this building, which is really fascinating. So half of it's brick, and then, well, the whole foundation is brick of this building anyway. Half the building is made out of this like green panel wood, which I tried to replicate here. Tried to sink these wall arches into the floor, and it just didn't look right, so I just went with these doors, and then just trying to make it a lot bigger so we can fit a roof on and just make it clear what I need it to do, which it is, so there's no problem here. And then I'm putting in the gable pieces so I can put in the roof in later. And honestly, I think this might have been one of my favourite videos and the most not favourite videos to film, because today is actually kind of interesting. So we're building this building, we're building another building, and then we're building a massive building which holds a like kind of fun area, like a soft play, and I've never done one of those before, so it's like really going to test what I can do in the game. And post edit, I was really proud. So anyway, a bit of a spoiler for later, I guess. I'm just zooming out, seeing how everything looks, and then why is this low pause? I don't know, but there we are. So I'm just putting in the floors here now, so I'm going to make it look modern, and just putting in all of the modular gift shop bits. I wanted to make this like middle aisle, which kind of looked nice, and then just these pool bits, which there is a pool in the game later on. In the park, even. And then I just kind of had a problem of I'm gonna put like it in all over U, because I had all the paths going in this like small radius, and then I just fixed the paths so I can just stick it to the wall, and it just looks a lot better now. So now I think I'm putting in the roof, I believe. Or no, I'm not. I'm putting in these signs, which I think I have to go back again when I'm putting on the roof. This bit, because I'm putting it on the flat roof, and just here we are. Just moving these down so they're in eyesight and they don't clip through the boards, and then just about finishing this bit up before I go on and put in these aquatic corrugated roof panels, which do fit that bit of the building, and then this bit of the building is more slate tiles, so that's good. And then now I believe I'm just going to add details and put in all the paths around, so yeah. So, like I did at the first episode near the entrance, I'm turning this blue and then using the planks again, turning them blue and just make them look like it's a wooden, plant trough. And I think it just still works really well. And then we just put in the plants. And this one's more about bushes, I think, than the other one. Because that was more about flowers. And then I just made it look like it was like seeping over the plant pot. Anyway, what was I trying to do here is I had those windows put in. And I couldn't really get the right window to put in until I found this one, which was about right. And then putting in all the other details. And then I used this window not to use it as a window. This one coming up. Because what I do here is to make it a event board. And I kind of got it set for the October period. So you got Scare Fest and pumpkin picking, which Twin Lakes do actually do in the fall season, and just lets youngsters pick up a pumpkin. It's really good for park standards to let people go in and just like pick out pumpkins. You probably carve them as well, to be fair. And then you have Extreme Scream, which these aren't the dates, what will happen, like, say, this year. So these are just made up dates I'm putting. So Extreme Scream, I think, is from the 20th or 22nd to 31st. And then you've got Bonfire Night, which is 5th of November. And then that building was about done. And then I just need to put in other bits like gutters and all that neat stuff. So eventually, after my camera stops shaking, I get on with some more work because I'm just staring at my... Here we go. So now we're doing all the gutter work. Are we? No, it doesn't seem like we are. Scratching my head there if it picks up in the audio. Now, yeah, that's it. It's a little downpipe system where the water will seep from the roof and just go into the downpipe into the ground, and then just covering up the gap between the walls and the roof, because it just leaves a little bit of a gap, which is fine. So I'll cover that up, and now I'm doing it on the other side, and it's only for this like metal side, and then I covered these bits up again, so it looks less eyesore, I guess. And then I'm putting in the gutter again, trying to measure it up, and then I think this one, I do it, and then I think I look above and it's gone wonky. So I should just delete it all and just try and restart. And I think this attempt was positively good, as I didn't have to recreate it. Now I'm putting in the windows, and then putting in these bins, which at the park they'll be sponsored by, I think it's Walls or something. Like nice little red bins, but I didn't really want to put in all the details on the bins, because I think I'll be there forever. Or I'll just do an extra video or something like that. Then there's this little sign on the corner saying, "Had a fantastic day," so I just wanted to put that in as well. And this park, although it's nowhere near finished, is coming together so well, and I'm really chuffed with it. So this building next door is a little seating area where you can just come and just chill from all the rides and all the play areas that the park has to offer. And I wanted to put a shop in to make it more practical than just being a bit where there's some seating, which I know it will work, but just putting in a shop what provides people to go to there to sit down. Because if you just put them randomly, say put them here without a shop, it doesn't work the same, I believe. And then it's putting in the roof again, which is, I believe, another metal roof, which I don't think I'll go into too much details here. So it's just a metal roof at the end of the day. And I have no idea. Here we are. So I'm putting in the same roof as I did on the other building, which I feel like this might be one of the most used pieces for this video. Maybe not. Another bit's coming up later. And then I was just putting in the door at the end here, which, yeah, that's coming on. And then it's time to make the big building, which does have 2 rides in it, which there's one ride I could not make whatsoever in the game, which is a kiddie drop tower. I could probably make it out of pieces, but there's not one in the game. Tried to look on the shop and just couldn't find one. So I just opted to not have one. And then making the roof structure first before lifting up in the air, because this is a big building. It's already double the size of the other buildings. Just from corner to corner, really. And then just putting in the walls, and this is just like a metal box. It doesn't really have much detail in it other than what's inside, and that it's just a massive box with a play area in it and seating, which you'll see me do in a minute. So now I'm just putting all the build together, and it's I have to raise it up into the air to make it higher, because I think I test with the tiny eye in the game, which is like what the park has in that building as one of its rides. And I thought it wasn't going to pass, so I think I'll just have to raise it higher, or just put in these final panels along the floor, so no light seeps through or seeps out. Then it's just up to now starting the internal bits as I test the ride again. And I think it clears. So whenever I get back to putting in a ride, here we are. There's quite a lot of freezers in this, I realise. It's probably where I've just lost concentration. And then just putting in the path, which I thought I wasn't going to hide, because other than going into the building to see how the shops are or the ride is, I wasn't going to really have a look in there quite frequently, or for what I did in the play area, which is coming up. So, and I believe, I might be wrong, I believe that this is the first soft play area built in Planet Coaster. I might be completely wrong. There may be 500 creators who've done it before me, but I just thought I've mastered it really well. So I don't think this video has it all in, just to free up space for other video, for my next video even. And it really has what I think a just really good vibe to it, and it actually looks like a soft play. So now I'm putting in these wooden grid pieces, and I thought that they actually worked for like the mesh. And do you know when you go into a soft play when you were younger, and you go into it and you've got the mesh on the side of like on the walls, and it's covered in these foamy pillars. And then I tried to put a slide here, but it wasn't going to work because just the slide was too big. So, and I needed a waterpool for it to be used. So that was thrown out the window very quickly when I realised that I just couldn't do it. And yeah, I just realised it's going to be just too much of a hassle. So I just deleted it and just made it more of a non-slide orientated fun play. It's a small fun play. It probably doesn't really need a slide. And I make this bit smaller because I'm going to make these stairs, this all would be foam pieces, and they're the foam stairs which you kind of like you can climb up. And I think I have to like push everything back because it just wasn't going to reach. So eventually I get it sorted, and then I'm doing these like things where you have to like run through them or hit them. And I know these look like just red and orange eggs at the moment, but they probably will just stay looking like eggs because I don't do any theme into them. So they're just going to look like long eggs but hanging from the ceiling. And then I kind of like can make a little rope bridge before it like goes down onto the floor again. And it's got those V-shaped walkthroughs, which are, if you've ever gone on like a Go Ape, they're probably really fun bits of Go Apes, really. Some soft plays have them as well. Some have them a lot bigger. Some have them elevated in a way that you go from one bit to another. And then this one is just trying to block it off so in real life kids wouldn't go into that bit, because it just wouldn't really be necessary for someone to go down there. So I just try and fill it up, and I say that's going to do it. Plus no one's going to really come down here in the game, so I don't care that much about how practicability, because it has no practicability. And then I'm putting in these would be the kind of little pillars that you have to hit out of the way and just run through them. And then here I'm just making safety, and then just trying to cover up the floor here so you can't really see any grass. And I probably have to go off grid at some point, because if you can notice, it's just not filling up all the space. And I'm making these borders, which at first looked really wonky, and then I stuck with it and it just worked. So this little bit here is going to be a foam pit. So I'm just shoving in loads of these squares, changing them around sometimes, and just try and make it look like it's a foam pit, where over time loads of kids have stole most of the foam cubes. So there's loads of empty space, and it's just like, it's going to be sticky in there. It's going to be like really tacky in there, because the kids, they don't clean up after themselves. So it's going to be really sticky in there. Wow. And then just doing the floor here, where just covering up all the grass and all of the path what's coming through the building. And then I'm doing this thing where you kind of just have to like roll yourself through them, and then this is like a bit where you can just stack cubes on top of each other, which I do other little stacking kind of bits as well eventually. And then I put loads of spheres up here, which are going to be like those throwable balls you can get, which normally clutter these zones with just like stuff what are movable, because they're just, kids just really like that, don't they? And then I think eventually I go on to what would be the 3rd floor. Before I go on to the 3rd floor even, I'm just filling in even all of the space where there's just grass. And then I don't know what I'll do with this bit here, because it was going to be where the slides are, so now it's just kind of like left empty. I think I'll fill it with something eventually, just don't know if it's in this footage or it's just something else. Then these bits are just things you just have to like avoid. They're just like pillars, you can just run around them. And then I'm using the same strategy as I did at the start, where I'm making these foam staircases out of the cylinders, or foam. Is it foam, or is it like a material? It's like a plastic material. It's that rubbery plastic material you get on like bouncy castles and stuff. Inflatable, in a sense. And then I'm just putting on the floor here before it goes off and turns, so we can go onto the 2nd floor, or 3rd floor even, because this technically would be the 2nd floor. Then now I'm just like making it higher and higher before it kind of stops and you make a turn. Yeah, I'll make a turn here, so you have a couple of more bits of stair to go up before you're on the 3rd floor, or just for 4th floor kind of, because that would that count as the 3rd floor, or just like a turnaround staircase bit, because you can't really, it's not like it's a actual floor where you just go off and there's more stuff to it. You just turn them out and you go onto the top floor, so probably it doesn't really count as a floor. So now I'm just filling the top floor with kind of less obstacles and more just toys. So I'm just filling in all the bits I need to do for this one, and it's starting to get to the end of the video where some of the stuff might have to be done later on. So now I'm making sure it looks sealed off, and if you got this far and if you've enjoyed it, why don't you hit subscribe and like and share? Completely free to do so. And episode 3 is really close to coming out, so it's going to be a good series, I believe. And yeah, so now it's just the closing stages where I'm just finishing off everything. And this bit here is kind of like where they just store extra mats and extra materials. And then yeah, so this bit is where you have these like foam discs and these foam mats where you can put the foam mats together, and you can have the foam discs and you put them on the poles. Other than that, there's no practical use up here, other than toys and just fun stuff to really do up here. So yeah, just making them look like they're stacked around, and one of them's already been done. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, then yeah, see you in the next video, I guess. So bye! Stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.